It's Tuesday, July 29th, and welcome to your source of comic book news and culture. Get ready for a quick dose of comic knowledge that will prepare you to step into your comic book shop on Wednesday. But up first, here's a rundown of what you can expect to find in shops this week. After, it's Nick with the news.
Hi, I'm Nick, and here are your headlines for Wednesday, July 30th, 2008. Okay, so you're not much of a comic fan if you didn't know that this past weekend was the San Diego Comic-Con. Like past cons, this one did not disappoint. First, before the con even opened, organizers reported that they completely sold out of the entire weekend, and early reports are that while everything was crowded and packed, there didn't seem to be any trouble. No fire marshals or closing of halls. This is good. However, we're still waiting for the con organizers to release the attendance numbers, but we'll tell you this now, it was big. Also big is the seemingly endless stream of news that the con generated. We'll be reporting more on the announcements in the coming weeks. Yes, there were that many announcements. But let's handle some of the big ones, and we're gonna do this bullet point style. Neil Gaiman is set to do a two-part Batman story after Batman R.I.P. finishes up. Titled Whatever Happened to the Caped Crusader, it will appear in January in Batman and Detective with art by Andy Kubert. But before that, Kevin Smith is writing a three-part miniseries, Batman Cacophony, with art by View Askew star Walt Flanagan. Starting with DC, Milestone will be returning to the DC Universe. While previously published by DC in the 90s, the characters will be returning and interacting with the mainstream DC Universe. Expect them to first start popping up in Justice League by Milestone creator Dwayne McDuffie. And in other Everything Old is New Again, DC has acquired the Archie comic superheroes and J.M. Straczynski will be introducing them when he takes over The Brave and the Bold. Over at Marvel, expect Mark Millar to make a return to the Ultimate Universe. The upcoming Ultimatum is expected to shake things up, and it looks like Millar will be coming on board to help reshape the universe he helped shape the first time around. It looks like the entire line, except Ultimate Spider-Man, will end. Of course, no details are given on what to expect after, except that Frank Cho will be drawing an Ultimates book with Jeff Loeb. Andy Diggle and artist Roberto Della Torre will be taking over Thunderbolts as of issue 126. Jonathan Hickman will be writing a Nick Fury book post-Secret Invasion. David Mack is writing the adaptation of a Philip K. Dick story, Electric Ant, and Marvel previewed its upcoming N, an adaptation of a previously unpublished story by Stephen King, by Mark Guggenheim and Alex Maleev. Expect N to pop up on mobile phones, online, and in comic form starting in November. IDW currently has both big 80s toy properties, Transformers and G.I. Joe, and announced that Larry Hama would be returning to G.I. Joe to relaunch them for a new comic series. He'll be reimagining them with over 25 years of experience, so he won't make the same mistakes as the first time around. Expect the new series to premiere in October with a 99-cent zero issue, and when the movie hits, expect a line of comics geared to that continuity as well. Image announced Image United, a new miniseries written by new Image partner Robert Kirkman and drawn by the Image founders, all of them. Each artist will handle their own characters, so expect a comic to hit next year with the names Mark Silvestri, Eric Larson, Jim Valentino, Will Portasio, and Todd McFarlane on it. Dark Horse is bringing Aliens and Predator back to comics. Expect 2009 to be a big year for both those franchises. Gerard Way's Umbrella Academy 2 will launch in November with artist Gabriel Ba. The Clone Wars will be getting monthly comics and digest releases, and Star Wars The Force Unleashed will be a new series tied into the game. Devil's Due hasn't let the loss of G.I. Joe get them down. They announced a new partnership with Humanoids, which will see the release of the European comic publisher's work in the US. Humanoids previously had a similar deal with DC, but this time around, Devil's Due will start by releasing Euro material by American creators in the American 32-page format. Expect the first translations to be John Cassidy's I Am Legion and Guy Davis's The Zombies That Ate the World. Expect an Art of Wanted to hit in November, with art from the comic, movie, and upcoming video game. Madame Mirage will return next year with a new series, and Randy Queen will return to comics with Starfall, which he described as space pirates versus zombie dinosaurs. And Top Cow announced another movie, but we'll kick it over to Kevin to handle that side of things.
Thanks, Nick. While the name may be Comic-Con, it's as much about movies as it is comics, and most of the major studios had panels and previews or announcements, including Top Cow. They already have a Witchblade movie in development. Well, add Magdalena to that as well. Starring Jenna Dewan and Luke Goss, Magdalena will be produced by Gail Ann Hurd, who produced the Terminator series and The Incredible Hulk. The hit of the show was obviously the still-in-release Dark Knight, which continues to shatter box office records, again claiming the #1 spot for the second weekend release with a $75 million weekend. It hit the $300 million mark after only 10 days, previously set in 16 days by Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest. As of right now, The Dark Knight has earned $313 million domestically, and it's on track to blow past $400 million and hit the rarefied air set by the Titanic. The other big hit and buzz book of the con was The Watchmen. DC had a life-size Night Owl ship set up at their booth, and it was swamped the entire show. At the panel, they showed more footage from the trailer and premiered some cool new promo posters. Hugh Jackman was on hand to premiere some Wolverine footage to uproarious applause. First looks at Deadpool, Gambit, and a showdown between Wolverine and Sabretooth were on display. And then there's rumbling that Fox might actually be preparing for an X-Men First Class movie, rumored to be populated with a group of younger mutants in training. And we're getting really worried about the upcoming Punisher Warzone movie. TV animation had a huge showing at the con, with premieres of the Hulkverse DVD, Wolverine and the X-Men, and the upcoming Black Panther cartoons from Marvel. DC was on hand to talk about their next DVD release, Wonder Woman. And Warner Brothers also premiered the trailer for the new Batman Brave and the Bold show coming this fall. Very retro. That's just a taste of the news that came out of the con last week. We'll have much more about all of this in the coming weeks. Let's just say it's a good time to be a comic book movie fan. Back to you, Nick.
Thanks, Kevin. Before we wrap up our first week of Comic-Con coverage, it's worth noting that Comic-Con hosted the annual Eisner Awards, and we've got a few winners for you, including Eric Powell for Writer, Artist, Humor, and Best Painted Art, Ed Brubaker for Best Writer, Mouseguard for Best Publication for Kids and Best Reprint Graphic Album, Why the Last Man for Best Continuing Series, and the Umbrella Academy for Best Mini. It's a long list, so head over to the Eisner Award page for the full list of winners. Okay, that's it for this week. We'll be back next week with even more coverage of the San Diego Comic-Con. Up next, it's Mike and Lewis with some first looks of comics out this week.
So me and Lewis, we're here, and that could only mean one thing. Gay porn. No, that's not what it means. It means first looks. Previews, basically.
Of what books we would want you to buy, or wouldn't buy, or burn, or use as inanimate objects for all kinds of destruction, or whatever, you know.
Remember, they're always good coasters. But yeah, so you started this week. You got Skaar, the
Son of Hulk, issue 2. Really interesting book. It's picking up. If you guys read World War Hulk, and
No.
if you saw the ending of that,
No.
this picks up big time. This is a direct pick-off. This is the somewhat distant sequel of World War Hulk. We're picking up with the Son of Hulk. He's on Skaar, or on Skaar was the planet Skaar. He is battling this guy who's, pretty much, just raping and pillaging, doing the whole, Neanderthal, Viking, mean guy thing. He doesn't really show any sense of, talking yet. He doesn't look very civilized. Like, we won't give him the Bruce Banner side yet. He's just basically all Skaar. No talk. So he's all Skaar, no talk. You know what I'm saying? He's got that going on. But really good book. The art's really great. It's like really rough Ron Garney, but it's good rough. It's like, it's on a wasteland planet. This is basically the fallout of what happened when the bombs went off after that story arc in Planet Hulk. And it's just got like that really grim look to it. And it's a really interesting story because it's just like, what can a son of a really super awesome being like the Hulk really do? Is he going to be good, bad, or just a person who just smashes shit all the time?
Betcha he can smash.
There you go.
Can he thunderclap?
I haven't seen it yet, but he does. He takes a pure impalement, like he gets a full sword through his stomach and he just pulls it out like it's no problem. So he is very strong, and it looks they're alluding that he's going to get stronger once he reaches some kind of pillar, this mountain in the planet. So something big's going to happen. So keep your eyes on this book.
So you're talking about barbarians and why not Vikings? Vikings are good.
Speaking of Vikings, that leads me to Thor issue 10. If you're reading Thor, massive revelation happened in the last issue. If you haven't read it, I have to let it go. Because you've had, what, a month to read the last issue? So,
I haven't read the last issue. I just picked up this one.
Balder the Brave is in secret, and in fact,
Odin's
Thor's
son!
half-brother.
Odin's son.
He is an Odin's son.
Brings about Ragnarok, possibly.
Possibly. So,
That could be over with, but we don't know.
Of course, this truth is coming from Loki, so you're just kind of like, no, but it's, yeah, because
But it's not Loki the deceiver anymore. It's
It's-
Loki the soothsayer, if you will.
I would say Loki the hooker, more like it, because that's what it looks like. But
Loki got hot. I ain't gonna lie. I'd do Loki now. She might deceive me.
yeah. I don't know, but back
I'd
to the
be
point.
okay with it.
Balder is an Odin's son, which makes him next in lineage to be the prince of Asgard, since Thor, is
So you're going with the whole this is Loki setting up to kill Thor so Baldur takes over?
I
now
don't think so.
Now that Baldur's in,
There's something bigger
Loki's
at
interfering
hand
with-
here.
with
Like
Loki.
you know he's scheming because the gestures, the physical, the body language is there, but you just don't know what this time. And JMS is writing this book, so it's not something typical of 60s, 70s Thor. It's something big, and since Ragnarok just passed, they can't really go back to that just yet. So I don't know. This book is
But
getting.
what if they did?
That'd be pretty interesting.
What if Thor ended again?
That'd be pretty lame because we waited 4 years for another book to come
Yeah,
out.
but a great way to say like I don't like where we're going with this. It's Ragnarok.
That is true. It's a good marketing point. Just get out of that. But great book. Please
10
pick that
issues
up.
done.
Great book. Pick that up. I don't even know where it's going. It's only gonna get better and better, much like other books I read. Next book you took a peek at. You're the Ultimate Spider-Man expert.
You know,
here.
I had to because with Eddie Brock eating people in the last issue, I was like, where are they gonna go with this?
I really enjoyed that review, by the way.
Yeah,
I
issue
felt-
124.
I like being eaten.
Yeah, well, being eaten is always fun,
Yeah.
I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. Anyway, so Ultimate Spider-Man number 124 sees the ultimate version of the Beetle, who I saw years ago in the video game.
Not
and-
Blue Beetle, right? 'Cause
Not
it's
Blue
DC.
Beetle, because that's DC. This
Okay.
is just Beetle from Marvel.
Ah, okay.
Yes, the villain.
Oh, okay.
He's yeah. But yeah, he's badass. He's got lots of toys and he's kind of fun and Nick Fury shows up and wheels are set in motion. You don't know where the story's going, but it's going to be a great arc because it might involve Doctor Doom. Might be Doctor Doom.
And ultimately, Doctor Doom is a funny-looking guy because he has like those horse legs.
Yes.
Yeah, so that should be interesting. I like the horse legs.
Maybe another Fantastic Four crossover. Why not?
He might stomp somebody's face off.
Yeah, it'd be fun. So Ultimate Spider-Man, pick it up if you're not reading it. Thor is a buy.
Must buy.
And Skaar.
Skaar, the Son of Hulk. Yeah, very epic thing going on there. So, a lot of good picks this week, even though it's kind of a somewhat dismal week. But there you go, your first look for that week. Make sure you run out to your shop, get those books, spend lots of money, and we'll see you guys next time for the first looks.
All right, that's it for this week's Variant Edition Tuesday.
Yep, all that Comic-Con news. Man, I wish we had a budget so that we'd be able to go there and cover this con in person.
Well, we can always hope for next year. Remember, kids, you too can support Variant Edition by becoming a viewer sponsor or buying a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's our very subtle way of letting you all know that Variant Edition is made possible by viewers like you. And you over there, I see what you're doing.
You're gonna go blind, and your palms are gonna get hairy. And you're sick for doing that to me.
That's pretty true. Okay, so if you haven't seen it already, check out, especially you, our summer movie special. We put it out this weekend, and we review all the big summer comic book movies.
Oh, put it away. And of course, we talked about The Dark Knight.
I mean, how
which
could you
was
not?
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, everyone else is talking about it. We just want to be popular. So there you go. So if you're wondering where to find out how you can watch that episode or other episodes of Variant Edition, what do?
You look no further than variantedition.com. It's got all the links to the great ways you can watch us or download us, including...
You got iTunes, you got YouTube, you got Google Video, VO, Blip TV, and Views. Or the simplest way, just watch it from the site.
Right, now, the part of the show where we tell you that Classic Comics is still your friendly neighborhood comic shop. Classic Comics in Rahway, New Jersey is where we get our comics and shoot the show.
Yep, check out ClassicComics.com for more information and how to find out on how to
Save
Speak
20%
properly.
off
Yes.
and speak properly
On your
next
comics.
week on Variant Edition.
It's a good website.
Yeah, but we got a special interview episode planned for later this week with interviews from Wizard World Philly and the New York Comic Con, and Lewis takes a look back at the life of Michael Turner.
Yep, some of us are on vacation next week, but don't worry, we still have a show ready for Tuesday.
And that should be interesting.
Yes, it will. We'll see you next week.
Put it away.
Nice.
That wasn't too bad with the script because it was all very natural.
It worked! We ain't shooting again.
All right, so you